Welcome to the Iron Forker Friday, folks. I'm Dan. Today we have Beach Bum joining us once again here. He joined us last week for the Sunday Community Skirmish, taking another stab at it here. Joining us for the Iron Fork. Good afternoon, Beach Bum.
Good afternoon, Dan. What's going on, guys?
We are setting up here for the Iron Fork. The lobby is already filled. I love pastry is the password for today. If you are so inclined to join us when there's space available, do keep in mind, though, that there is just about 30 seconds worth of delay during the stream itself. So keep that in mind if you're trying to get in. But the password is indeed I love pastry. If one of our mods are available, they'll throw that in the chat. Once again, folks, this is the Iron Forker Friday, a weekly event every Friday in Guns of Icarus, hosted by the Cake Clan. Jacob is kind enough to monitor it in game. We should be getting into it shortly. I'm going to let Jacob know we're good to go. While we do that, though, my brain stopped there for a second. Good Lord. Beach Bum, tell folks about yourself.
Well, I'm a bum on a beach. And member of Ryder. Yeah, I mean it's not that much to really talk about, but
is there something specific you do for the Riders?
I was recently appointed as their head guy to record gameplay, and I guess our designated caster now. So before on the Ryder YouTube page, because I recently took, I don't want to say possession, but control over that. Now they can get all of their gameplay from me from a third person perspective, as opposed to like not secondhand, but
okay, there you go. Are you going to be on any competitive teams for them in the near future?
I may or may not be. Riders are talking about putting together a second team. I might be a sub. I just got interrupted by Jacob, so yeah.
We always like to turn the in-game audio, the in-game voice off during these events.
Let me do that real quick.
It makes life a lot easier, especially in the long run when you have 12 people a team, 24 people all talking back and forth. It can be difficult. Desert Scrap's going to be the first map today, one of our favorites here. The map itself, very open, very wide, but none of it matters. That single focal point of the wreckage with the capture point in the center is the important note for it. So, getting into it here, we'll get the loadouts here as soon as the load. Once again, this is a King of the Hill map, though. 600 points is the win mark you need to achieve. And at that point, you win, you get a nice little victory screen, and we go on to the next map. All right, we will get loadouts here very shortly for you folks. There we go. Abdicative, the first ship for the red side of things. It's a Blenderfish loadout. Jacob's flying that. Flamers on both sides. We also have the Thanatos, a Spire being flown there by Doodlehog. Watch a Spire with a Hades, Gat, and Flamer. And we have the Friendly Don't Shoot, flown by Nerva. You got a rider on there. Flamer and Mortar on the front with a Flamer and mine on the side. Go ahead of the blue team, Beach Bum.
On the blue team, we have the Queen's Oven, a Junker flown by Melon McCrab and Nathy. We've got Such Cake Ship, a Mobula being piloted by Replaceable. And our last ship, Darwin's Eulogy, flown by QFox P, one of the cakes. We've got some action already happening here. We got Darwin's Eulogy, first one onto the point, being shortly followed behind by the Such Cake Ship.
The blue team looks like blue is going to be able to grab the point absolutely first. Abdicative was the closest available red ship, but it kept getting its balloon popped and flamed out, so they didn't have very many options to get on that point before blue team nabbed it.
Friendly Don't Shoot being targeted by the Queen's Oven on its approach. The dust cloud now coming in, hoping to cover the red team's approach.
Friendly Don't Shoot really getting aggressive here, moving in on its own almost on that point. Not the best choice in the situation. Nerva having some nerve there, as one might say. Darwin's Eulogy loading that heavy carronade right into it. Friendly Don't Shoot doing its best, but it's lost quite a few components, a couple engines there. Queen's Oven taking a couple shots there at the Abdicative, not doing a ton though, as Thanatos is right behind it.
Let's see. Mines are already out pretty much everywhere.
Very good mine coverage. Oh, actually, I take that back. Not very good mine coverage. Mines are hitting, though. Thanatos really taking some damage there. Heavy carronades loading in that balloon, taking its armor out as well. Queen's Oven's armor is also down. Hull is getting eaten up very quickly. Armor is still not up. They've lost all engines. Queen's Oven, I don't believe, is going to survive this one. Armor does come back up, though. That's very important. Thanatos taps out.
Abdicative is also going down. Its balloon's down. Whole armor down as well. They're down to about half. And they are trapped in the corner of that wreckage. They're not surviving that.
Sarlacc Pit gets its first meal of the day there. Friendly Don't Shoot, the only red ship on the point still. Thanatos just spawns back in. Such Cake Ship taking quite a bit of damage there for the Friendly Don't Shoot, but Friendly Don't Shoot still had their armor down under half on the permahull.
Friendly Don't Shoot is, well, they at least were making very good use of that flamethrower. They still slightly are, but that Blunderfish is just going to ram them straight into the wall. I don't see them getting out of that. Oh, actually, never mind.
It's actually, this surprises me that the Friendly Don't Shoot has lasted this long against both of these blue ships, but they've been able to hold on at this point. They've been able to do a pretty good job with it.
It was my impression that the Blunderfish was actually getting rammed into the wall by the Pyramidion, but it was actually the reverse. Darwin's Eulogy is still they're still near the bottom of the wreckage. Meanwhile, the flames go back onto the Such Cake ship. They in turn are flaming the Abdicative.
Abdicative did take a couple shots with the carronade into that balloon, but focus has been on Thanatos as of the last few moments here. Thanatos already tapping out its armor. Such Cake Ship loses its balloon, but they drogue shoot it just a little bit to keep things in the air.
Nearly 200-0 in favor of blue team.
Blue team isn't giving this up. Such Cake Ship has done a very good job of getting point control going too here. But they've lost their armor. Mines are coming in. Flamethrowers all over the place. We have mortar shots too. Oh, Friendly Don't Shoot lose its armor as well. They are hurting something fierce. Says Cake Ship actually, they've rose to the occasions, one might say. They've gotten themselves out of the line of fire.
Abdicative losing its whole armor right as the balloon comes back up.
The Friendly Don't Shoot gets taken out there. I believe that was actually by the Queen's Oven. Thanatos now pretty much alone with the Such Cake Ship and Queen's Oven. Meanwhile, Darwin's Eulogy continues to batter the Abdicative down into this very deep pit. Any ship, it's so tough to get out of this area. It's really tough. Darwin's Eulogy is actually experiencing that right now. They're trying to stay low and get arcs on the Abdicative again, but it's very difficult to maneuver here. Are they? Oh my God, they're taking each other's balloon out. Wow. Darwin's Eulogy actually getting the worst end of that deal. They're going very deep into this pit. I don't see how they're coming back out.
I think they're through the map.
They are actually clipping. Wow. Thank you, Rob, for giving us that.
Fix it.
That's crazy. Darwin's Eulogy definitely getting the worst part of this deal. They had the advantage on the Abdicative, but they have since lost that advantage. Abdicative has kept their carronades focused on that balloon and that front gun, and active flamer use has done a great job to deny Darwin's Eulogy the ability to rise up. Meanwhile, Friendly Don't Shoot in the Queen's Oven and Such Cake Ship all duking it out here. Friendly Don't Shoot actually doing a great job of dealing with the Such Cake Ship, but Abdicative in the meantime finally gets the advantage over Darwin's Eulogy, but can they get out of this pit?
I have no idea. I didn't even know you could clip through that. Like,
You can, a lot of that stuff doesn't have hitboxes. It's just guessing which parts do and don't.
well, it seems as though they're able to rise out quite well. They're pretty much coming back to the main battle. Meanwhile, the Thanatos coming onto the scene, hoping to support the friendly don't shoot as its balloon goes down. Queen's Oven hull armor go down.
I'm liking
Take-
this timing. I'm really liking this timing from the Thanatos. Does a lot to help out the friendly don't shoot. Red team has a very good opportunity to take this point. Queen's Oven must survive. They must be in tank mode for this, but it's just not doing it. They go down.
For the first time, the red team has cleared out the blue team.
But look at this. Look at that. The Darwin's Eulogy slipping in from the side and block the uncap at the very last moment. That takes skill. I've tried to do that before as a captain. It's not easy.
That's we've got Cake Ship and Queen's Oven are still a little bit of ways from rejoining the fight. Eulogy's
Unfortunately,
taking
they
a
are.
beating though from all three of these red ships.
Oh, Abdicative coming in. Watch this. Oh, there they go. And the uncap.
Red team has all three of their ships on here.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing the blue team really needs to focus on is making sure the Thanatos goes down quickly. The Spire has no room to maneuver in this situation. It's going to die quickly. It has no ability to back up. But the firepower that it does have, if they don't neutralize it quickly, is going to be a problem. Junker going in for a Junker Ram. Queen's Oven bopping it with its balloon. I believe, yeah, Queen's Oven actually lost the balloon to that.
Thanatos, excuse me. They're getting roasted now. I mean, did they not have chem spray on that ship?
It looks like they have Thanatos does have a lot of chem spray working. They were taking their time getting it up and going. Queen's Oven, in the meantime, although it did bring a lot of aggression to Thanatos, friendly don't shoot came up behind while its ally Junker got destroyed by the Abdicative, absolutely obliterated. Darwin's Eulogy back in the fight here. They took the back door once again. Thanatos and friendly don't shoot getting bumped around a bit by mines from the Queen's Oven. Darwin's Eulogy going in on the Abdicative. They want blood. They want to say, Jacob, this is your event, but I'm going to make the best of it.
Queen's Oven's
Oh, God.
down. Abdicative is trying to take up a position pretty much against the wall here. Getting Quacha bursts off on, what is that, the Darwin's Eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
Hull armor going down on the Eulogy. Meanwhile, the Abdicative is still trying to recover from its skirmish.
Red team has done a really good job of taking this point with the ships they have, but Darwin's Eulogy is starting to work over that Spire. Now, the big sell point for this defense for the red team is actually
Eulogy.
Oh, God. We'll let Beach Bum go ahead and sort his microphone out there. Abdicative, Thanatos, both very low on hull. Such Cake Ship coming in. Friendly don't shoot and Thanatos both pointed at it already. Not the best situation for that Mobula. Armor is going down. They have multiple fires they have to deal with. Those components are burning. Gatling fire doing the job along with the Hwacha. Armor is gone. Balloon is gone. Hull is gone. Getting absolutely ripped to shreds. Queen's Oven was coming in. They were thinking about it, but now they're backing out. They're saying nope, no deal. We do not want part of this. They're getting out of there as fast as possible. Darwin's Eulogy swinging back around the far side. They are not taking the back door this time. Queen's Oven spawning back in. Blue team really needs to regroup here and refocus. Abdicative, in the meantime, actually wandered out of the point area.
Better?
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. That's no fun. Thanatos taking a beating there. But what from? Oh, it's the Darwin's Eulogy sniping into the area from outside the grating. Now they're trying to turn the guns on the friendly don't shoot, but I believe that flamethrowers might be a little more effective than the carronade with those blockages. The abdicative has also, in that unfortunate calculated error, calculated mistake, as one might say, as it ventured out, it got disabled and is still trying to right itself before it moves in on the point once again. Here we go. Do we have you back, Beach Bum? Oh, no. Yeah. Alrighty. We will continue on. Hopefully he can get his stuff fixed there.
Hello?
Friendly don't shoot moving in on the point. Darwin's Eulogy using that heavy carronade to disable a couple guns there on it from the looks of
You
things.
guys... Oh, hello.
There we go. He's back now.
Yeah, I stopped the recording.
Abdicative falling backwards there. Darwin's Eulogy doing its best against friendly don't shoot, pressing up against the wall. Darwin's Eulogy losing some hull there too, though. Looks like they were camping the hull as best they could. Abdicative losing it as well. Heavy carronades eating that balloon up. Armor's gone. Hull is gone. They get a solid kill.
Anatos, the only red ship left to face against 3 very angry blue team ships.
As I was mentioning earlier, the Thanatos is kind of that central focus, that apex of the red team's offensive and defensive capabilities. That heavy front gun, along with those 3 other guns pointed forward as well, make it a clear heavy firepower solution to a lot of different problems, but it's a glass cannon. It doesn't survive well. Very tough to use at times, and I think that's a struggle point for the red team.
Queen's Oven temporarily disabled as they also go after and break the hull armor of the Eulogy. Eulogy is completely disabled as well. This, as much of a glass cannon as the Spire is, it's holding off on its own pretty well.
They're doing a pretty good job. I'm kind of curious if what
Their
kind of
allies
crew
are coming
they
back in as well.
have. That's the strange part. Thanatos actually has. They don't have the most experienced crew in the world, but they're doing a really good job.
Cake Ship's hull armor goes down as they're pretty much gonna. Oh, never mind. Then they just went down. Queen's Oven's the only blue ship left.
This is crazy. Blue team is just barely holding on to the point. Queen's Oven, I must believe they are in full tank mode, but armor is gone. They are barely keeping the ship together. They're gone. They're out of there.
Red team
That's
reclaiming
crazy.
the point as Cake Ship and Darwin's Eulogy try to regroup.
The blue team, if they capture the point again, blue team is probably going to win. Red team must not lose the point again.
They're down by about 250 or 300 points.
About that, yeah.
Cake Ship being spotted as the first blue ship to come back. It looks as though
Darwin's
Eulogy's-
Eulogy.
that
There-
Eulogy is going through that back door once again.
Looks like they're going to try and take the back door. Hydro up. They are burning kerosene forward, but did they get enough height to get in there? They might. Oh, they do tap. Oh, that's a very big risk. You have to know where you're going when it comes to using that secret little area. And it looks like Darwin's Eulogy is stuck. They're stuck on the wreckage there. The front of the ship is wedged into it because of the ceiling actually pressing down. They lost some hull to that.
Not even good as the Queen's Oven
Oh,
goes
God!
down. Cake Ship's whole armor is exposed also.
Where did that even come from?
They just snuck in there. They tried to get in there under the radar.
Mm-hmm. I don't even understand. Friendly don't shoot and Darwin's Eulogy both going to meet each other outside the primary point area. Such Cake Ship getting bombarded from the point itself by red ships. Such Cake Ship's armor is down. They hit a mine from behind. Engines are severely damaged on that Mobula. Friendly don't shoot, getting out of there. Darwin's Eulogy also losing armor. Hull is going down pretty quickly. Trying to see exactly where those shots are coming from. I don't see it.
They're hurt, though. A fresh Queen's Oven ship just gets spotted as it's the one making the frontal assault charge.
I really feel like the blue team is just bum rushing right now, just doing its best to get on the point, get on the point, get on the point, but they're not moving as a unified force. They really need to move as a unified force, in my opinion. Darwin's Eulogy's back with the friendly don't shoot and such cake ship trying to move in on the point. We actually lost the blue junker once again. It has been taken out. Queen's Oven. Abdicative and Thanatos have both had chunks of their hull taken out. Abdicative mostly dead, and Thanatos about halfway. Queen's Oven spawns back in. Such cake ship losing its armor there. I didn't even see what that was too.
Oh dear.
Darwin's Eulogy taking some shots there, putting their carronades into the balloon sides, the sides rather, of the friendly don't shoot's balloon. Did they actually? They almost took out the armor with a carronade as well. Goodness.
Thanatos firing upon the Darwin's Eulogy once again as the friendly don't shoot is getting lit up.
They're out of the game for a little bit here. They are struggling to maintain. The armor is down on the Abdicative. Queen's Oven is taking some shots, but not enough to deter them. Abdicative getting pressured, something fierce. Thanatos trying to spiral around and support, but such cake ship is doing a very good job of putting pressure on these red ships. Darwin's Eulogy, though, is down just a little bit, taking some mine hits there. Oh, there goes a Thanatos. Spire getting ripped to shreds. There it goes on the instant replay. Beautiful stuff.
Abdicative is trapped in the corner with this junker and this other goldfish. They're holding out all they can, but they go down as well.
Mm-hmm.
One red ship left on the point to defend. These blue ships want blood.
Friendly don't shoot. I'm not sure he's going to have a long and happy life in front of it. Darwin's Eulogy is taking fire, but chem sprays were up on that ship pretty. They did a good job. They did a good job keeping chem sprays up. The Darwin's Eulogy only has 4 fires to deal with. Actually, never mind. And the other components were all broken. They didn't have good chem sprays. They just had really broken components.
Cake ship is already firing upon the Thanatos. They're not even near the point yet.
Yep, that's what they need to do, though. They really need to get control of that ship before it can get on the point. Watch the shots coming in from the Thanatos. Doing some pretty severe damage, actually. Such cake ship is parachuting. They got the drogue shootout to try and maintain altitude. Queen's Oven is fully functional, ripping into the friendly don't shoot. Armor is down. Hull is taking damage. Those carronades did a bang-up job. Thanatos is all alone.
It's not completely alone, Dan. It's got the Abdicative coming back here
coming in through the smoke there.
Firing on the Eulogy. Eulogy's balloon is down, as is the Thanatos' balloon and hull armor. Queen's Oven is just circling around, ready for the kill.
Queen's Oven with those carronades, they can keep the Thanatos down and against the ground, grinding out. There it is. Very easy way to kill a Spire is to force it to repeatedly ground out. It can't survive.
The uncap has already begun. We got the Abdicative blocking that. Uncap.
They're on the edge.
All they need to do is get into the Queen's Oven's balloon. They should be fine.
We are getting to the point of no return on this one. Very long first game. Red team appears to be the winner in this situation. Blue team cannot get the uncapped fast enough. So, in this situation, red team is going to get the first win. Just barely, though. 600 to 534 is the final score. That's about as long as the game can go without trying to min-max those points. Whew.
Red team coming out victorious. Happy birthdays going out all over.
Once again, folks, this is the Iron Fork of Friday for September 26, 2014. I'm Dan, joined by Beach Bum of the Riders. We'll be hosting the full Iron Forker Friday event. Thank you so much for joining us. As a reminder, if you're watching this and you haven't signed your team up yet for the R&D Invitational, it's imperative that you do so. You only have 2 more days to sign up. 2 more days. Riders going to be there. Why aren't you guys? Make sure you go sign up. The sign-up information is over on the Guns of Icarus forums. Strongly recommend you go over there immediately and get that email into us ASAP. Very important you do so.
2 goldfishes switching place here as the next game is being voted upon.
I'm gonna push a canyon ambush there. See if we can't get a canyon ambush going. Those are always interesting. 3v3 canyon ambushes can get extremely chaotic and confused.
Oh, I love Canyon Ambush. That's probably my favorite map.
Let's see how things go here. That's right. The 2 goldfish essentially switched places there. And they were both blender fish too, so it really doesn't change much. See exactly which map we get before we move forward. Now, while we have a moment here, Beach Bum, you said that you started doing videos and video content for the Riders YouTube page. Where is that exactly?
It is, if you search on YouTube, Rider Clan, spelled RYDR, Rider. Mm-hmm. We have our logo there. We've got a few of the community skirmishes there. It's not content that the Riders have been recording. It is content that is on loan from, I believe, Oracle and Imagine, part of their streams. We have permission to use that and to upload it. I hope to be uploading original content there from probably our scrimmages, scrimmages, anything I can really get my hands on.
So you're going to be uploading first and third person perspectives of different events?
I have already uploaded first person perspectives of just us scrolling around, so to say. Hopefully some third person competitive would be going up there. Some outtakes might also go up on my personal channel, youtube.com/MrBeachBum313. So, exciting things are happening.
How exactly did you get that job, by the way? Were you just the writer that's had the most experience with video editing and uploading?
I kind of volunteered, to be honest, because I have the software to actually edit and record. So I'm the one that's most well suited and well qualified for the job.
More of a de facto situation from the sounds of things.
Yeah. Yes.
Letting Jacob know we're good to go here. Looking over it, we did get Canyon Ambush. Melon is going with a galleon? Melon's going with a galleon.
Melon is going with a galleon. Red team has 3 Pyramidians. Blue team has no Pyramidians.
Unfortunately, this feels like it's swinging in the direction of the red team. And I hate to say that because I know a lot of people find the Pyramidian somewhat boring. But it's also probably the most well-balanced ship there is.
I couldn't agree more. It'll be interesting with the Pyramidians versus the non-Pyramidians and whatnot.
I get what Melon is doing with the galleon because, I mean, look at the weapons. You have carronades and you have watches. Carronades on one side, watches on the other. You have a harpoon on the back, which actually is pretty useful. And you have a flamethrower. It's built to brawl. It's built to get in close to everything.
Yep. Jacob's abdicative doesn't seem to have changed. It's still Blunderfish with 2 flamethrowers on the sides.
I like the blender fish. I really like the blender fish on this map.
Blender fish is extremely useful, especially with the close quarters that the canyon provides. The Thiodol, a junker being piloted by Replaceable, hopefully, 2 mine launchers, a flamethrower on the bow of the ship, and a carronade Gatling combination. So that should be interesting to see.
Well, getting into the map here shortly. Once again, the Iron Fork of Friday is a public event that you all can participate in. The password is I love pastry. If you are so inclined to join the game, we'll be getting into here very shortly. There are there any spaces open? I don't have the game pulled up. No, there are not any spaces open.
There are no spaces open. None in the spectator slots or in the in-game slots, unfortunately.
It can be very tough to get space for these events. Very tough.
Can be. The all Pyramidion team, though, on the red team has been broken up by my boy Dementio, Daniel, with his Metacactus squid. Hades on the front.
Why do you have a Hades on that? What? I don't get it. Is there a reason for this? Do you understand the reasoning behind this?
I do not see the reasoning, honestly, but my biggest question isn't really the Hades on the front, it's the harpoon on the back. You're not going to be really dragging ships around.
Actually,
they're going to be dragging you around.
Actually, the forward thrust of a squid, especially if Dementio he doesn't have moonshine. So
he's got kerosene, though.
Yeah, he's going with kerosene. I can respect that. But a squid with moonshine has the highest forward thrust of any ship in the game. Now, there is a downside to that in that its mass is also the lowest in the game. So, force, and we're going to do some math here, kids. Force equals mass times acceleration. Has the best acceleration, the worst mass. So it does balance, the equation does balance out. It can actually do some decent pulling. But Dementio doesn't have moonshine. So
I'll be honest, when I see that squid with the harpoon on the back, all I'm thinking about is Star Wars Episode 5 with all of the little snow speeders and their little their cables and whatnot, trying to bring down the AT-ATs.
I think that's the appropriate image.
All right, game starting in 15 seconds here.
We do have people readying up. We'll be getting it in very shortly. How are we going to pronounce Fox's ship name?
OUO.
The OUO. Okay.
That sounds good to me.
What? Okay. Admiral Avi is trying to correct me on my physics. No.
Admiral Avi.
Force equals mass times acceleration. Everyone knows that. Now, how that force translates into damage, that's a different question entirely. But you can't argue that force equals mass times acceleration. That is a known fact. Getting into the game here. I'm still loading in. How are you ready, Rob?
I'm still loading in as well.
I'm still loading. Somehow, Rob, our cameraman for this event, has loaded in long before us.
Oh, I'm in.
And apparently Addictive already hit a mine or something.
Alrighty. For our fish shift, we have the OUO. No, you go.
It's kicked me out.
All right, I'll go through the red ships. Slot number 1 on the, what is that? That is OUO. Pyramidion being piloted by QFoxP. We've got second ship, a Pyramidion being piloted by Hydros. We've got YOLO Swaggins. Slot number 3, Metacactus, being piloted by Dementio. And already it is 1-0 in favor of red team.
Oh my, I've already missed a kill just because I'm stuck in a loading cycle.
You're about to miss the second kill too. Abdicative
makes me
almost going
incredibly
down. Pole armor going down.
Ooh, okay, Abdicative definitely taking a beating there, but it looks like they have turned. No, they haven't turned away from the main threat. Banshee's going into their butt. They go down. Did you go through the blue teams yet?
I have not gone through the blue team.
All right, Auntie Melon, flown by Melon McCrabernathy. It's a galleon on the right side. Carronades left side watches. We have a flamer for support and a back harpoon gun. Balana's going to be hugging that from the looks of things. We also have the Thaydal, a junker. Oh, that was a galleon ram. A junker piloted by Replaceable. On the left-hand side, carronade mine launcher, front mine launcher, right side Gat mine launcher, and the Abdicative Jacobs Blender Watch-A-Fish this time around, actually, with 2 flamethrowers on the sides. Alrighty. There is action everywhere. Red team's up 2-0. Metacactus about to go down. They are getting gatted out. The squid simply cannot do anything. They're gone. 2-1 in favor of the red team. Whew.
Yellow Swaggins coming in on the Abdicative with its Gat mortar. Hitting a mine.
Abdicative being very ballsy in this situation. They took some mortar shots there while the armor was still down, took a chunk out of their permahull health, but they got out of it without more than a few scratches. OUO is sitting very low, but Auntie Melon going in against the YOLO Swaggins. They're going for a galleon ram, bumping the YOLO Swaggins all over the place. Mines going out. Auntie Melon, armor and balloon is down, but they did get the kill there. 2-2, all tied up. Fresh game.
OUO taking some fire from this junker here. Slipping into the mist. Trying to fire some fresh mines to block him and to just get him. OUO hitting the wall.
Thaydal did a nice little rise above where the OUO was arced. And they're dropping mines right in front of it. They're also dropping mines in front of the Abdicative, mining out their ally. Not what they needed. Oopsie.
Mines make every single game. It just turns into a cluster that you can't tell who's who. Mines don't care about.
When you have mines in a game, no one's your friend. Everyone is the opponent when mines are involved. YOLO Swaggins taking some long-range Gatling shots there. I believe that might actually be... Is that Lesmok Gatling? Yes, it is. Oh my goodness.
Abdicative taking lots of fire here. Full armor was down momentarily. They're getting eaten up by this Pyramidion. They don't even see a full armor down once again. Someone. There we go.
I'm getting a lot of server lag.
It's 3-3. YOLO Swaggins going after the anti-melon. Metacactus going in, hopefully for support.
Keep going. It kicks me out of gaming.
Oh, Pyramidion Ram onto the Junker. 4-3 in favor of red team. We've got Metacactus running into a Mesa. Anti-Melon or YOLO Swaggins. Pretty much the entire red team firing on the anti-melon right now. Anti-melon's not going anywhere. They go down 5-3 in favor of red team. 2 more kills for red. Gives them the pick. Picks up the W for them.
Unfortunately, I'm missing most of the game because this server that the game is hosted on at the moment doesn't like me. I can watch the replay just fine though. That was gorgeous.
Coming in from the Abdicative on the OUL. These Pyramidians and the Squid, they see it their next target. They know who they want.
Alrighty, I can see things. Now, Abdicative's armor going down. There's some long-range fire from the YOLO Swaggins and Metacactus there. Yeah, you know, you don't usually see Lesmont Gatling. It's not considered very useful because of the smaller clip size, but the range can be useful when you're trying to support your ally in a pinch. Abdicative armor is going down. Hull is exposed. Not what the Abdicative wanted in the situation. They do get things back together, though, pretty quickly. OUO, Metacactus, both right there on the front lines, too. Auntie Mela is actually swinging around the side. That could be a dangerous situation for the red team if they continue to be drawn forward.
Citadel taking fire from the OUL, trying to support its goldfish ally. Anti-Melon taking fire, by the looks of it, from, I believe that's the Metacactus with its front-facing Hades.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That single Hades is that squid we were talking about earlier. You'd never think that not a Watcher, but a Hades is going to be useful on a squid. You never think that.
A Hades in general is complete. Not to, I guess, represent my own clan, but any gun that Geo is firing is useful. Doesn't matter what it is.
Hashtag biased.
Yeah, just slightly. Gotta show it sometime.
Auntie Melon's going in on the OUO. Carronades are unleashing. OUO losing armor and balloon in a matter of moments. Both those Carronade cartridges emptying, but very little permahull was dealt. Oh, but look at that. There's that harpoon coming into use against the OUO. Watch the shots all over the place.
Citadel laying
Ouch.
mines down literally everywhere in the skies. Metacactus doing its best to fend them off because it looks like the Citadel is trying to mine them into submission.
Mm-hmm. OUO and Abdicative both on the ground there. As now everything's everything's going again. Thank you. Oh,
5-4
OUO did go down to the Abdicative.
5-5. Just missed a kill.
Who was it? It
Anti-Melon
was the-
killing the Metacactus. Yellow Swaggins, Anti-Melon, and Citadel firing at one another. Yellow Swaggins taking lots
Look
of
at that.
Watcha.
That was 3 different Hwacha clips all at once from the Abdicative and 2 from the Anti-Melon. Ooh.
Lots of actioning happening at once. Another Hwacha burst coming off from the Abdicative. Abdicative getting spotted by the Yolo Swaggins. Yolo Swaggins is just trying to hold out now.
Abdicative coming in for the ram on YOLO Swaggins from the looks of things. They're going to get a little bit of a crunch, but not quite enough. Watch a shot's going out, nearly finish him off. That is so close.
Metacactus moving in with the OUO now, hoping to finish up, hoping to get the jump on the Anti-Melon and the Abdicative.
YOLO Swaggins successful harpoon hit on the YOLO Swaggins, but it didn't latch on. It did hit the balloon, so it only did the damage. It did not get the pull. Auntie Melon trying to get into a better position to hit the YOLO Swaggins, but they're going to hit some mines here if they're not careful. That was a successful harpoon at pulling them out of the, oh my goodness. Auntie Melon gets catapulted past the wreckage of the Pyramidion.
Lock Napoon. Meanwhile, OUO and Abdicative rolling it out. Abdicative hull armor is down. OUO hoping to get a ram. They get it. 6-all. Next kill wins.
It's going to be very close, especially with Thadal and Auntie Melon slowly crawling towards the red team spawn where all 3 red ships are at. It's going to be an automatic 3v2 situation if the blue team goes in right now.
Metacactus firing its Hades at the Citadel. Meanwhile, Gatling fire from... That has to be Lesmont.
It is Lesmont. They've been using Lesmont Gatling a lot in this game, and while I don't agree with it, it has been useful. I would much prefer to see that ship actually get in close, though. Watch a shot's going out on the YOLO Swaggins.
Metacactus's hull armor is down. That squid needs to get out of there.
Thadal is in a lot of pain. Auntie Melon armor goes down as well, though. OUO and YOLO Swaggins doing a great job of grinding that Galleon down. It doesn't have a lot of life left in it. Blind, the Metacactus rather, doing a great job of controlling the Thaydol while Auntie Melon gets ripped apart.
Ooh. Metacactus's whole armor goes down once again from another mine. The Thaydol has the Metacactus on its knees. It needs support from its allies.
You know, I have to disagree just because Metacactus still has all its engines. And although some of them are burning, as long as those engines are available and active, they have a fighting chance. They really do have a solid fighting chance
Thaydol's
of keeping in
whole
this.
armor was going down. It's got the attention of all of these ships now.
Everyone's bumping the Thaydol around. Looks like YOLO Swaggins, OUO, and Metacactus all going after. Yup, they were going right after the Junker. They felt like they had a kill in the works, and they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing as a group until they got it. 7-6 win in favor of the red team. Just barely coming out ahead. That was a very close game.
Very close indeed.
Normally, you don't see those kind of extremely close matches in the Iron Fork, but this is one of the times where you do.
Well then, Long Range Squid OP, Dementio is saying now. So, we'll have to see about that.
See which map we get next. Thank you, folks, for joining us here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show for Iron Fork of Friday. Coming up tomorrow, we have the Timmy B finale at 3 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and I believe 9 p.m. UTC. I think. Maybe. I have trouble converting to UTC in my head still. I apologize if I got it wrong there. We have, I'm going to vote Northern Fjords. I always love seeing Northern Fjords during Iron Forks. Always goes very strange directions. See which ships people decide to bring in this situation.
Yeah, Abdicative changing back to the red team as the Curse, new Goldfish, comes out. Blenderfish with a Gatling and a Flamethrower. It's the Curse.
If we were to simply go off of levels, which is never a good idea, levels don't actually represent experience or skill as of right now, but if we were to go off just levels, red team would have a clear advantage.
Well, you could argue that. Although I'd say there's 4 10 plus players on the Melon McCrabbernathy's big boy car.
That's true. I'm looking mostly at the captain level specifically, and maybe that's not a good idea because levels really don't represent anything beyond achievements you've gotten and don't represent actual skill. But in this situation, wait. Oh, we got Anglian Raiders. Oh, this is going to be a while. Kids, it's going to take a while on this one. Anglian Raiders, a crazy king map. It's a long map, especially when it's a competitive one because you're just scrambling and struggling to grab one of the points at a time.
Jacob's now threatening to ban all of the AI and remove them from the game. Oh dear.
Can he do that?
He says he can.
I don't trust Jacob.
I kind of want to see him do that just because I'm curious now.
You want to know if it's possible.
That is true, but since we're talking about AI, we do have 2 slots available on the blue team for all of the viewers out there.
That we do. 2 slots available. The password is I love pastry.
All one word, all lowercase.
Game name is the Iron Fork of Friday.
That would be correct.
Earlier in the day, I had the opportunity to be on the developers fireside talking a little bit about events coming up here. We did unfortunately lose the Steam and Iron, complications of lack of time on the organizers' parts, as well as complications based off of the time that the organizers were looking to host the event during. Unfortunately, 6 p.m. and on is a bit late for Europeans, especially if that's Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, because just off the top of my head, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Muse is based in New York, that's about 11 o'clock p.m. in England, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m., excuse me, in the rest of Europe.
People don't want to be participating in tournaments at those times, so I understand why. It's unfortunate, though, because it was looking to shape up to be a pretty great event.
That's
So
unfortunate.
unfortunately, yeah, we're not going to have an event before the Aerodrome starts up here in a few weeks. That'll be at the very beginning of November, in fact. Coming up after the Timmy B tournament, the next event we have scheduled is the 2-year streaming special over at the Guns of Icarus main channel, twitch.tv/Guns of Icarus. Of course, we have Sunday community skirmishes and Iron Forker Fridays going on all through the rest of the year too, as on a weekly basis. That's not changing anytime soon, so don't go anywhere, folks. Teams are starting to ready up here. We have only one squid, but 2 goldfish.
Flying it. All right there.
I'm not good at. Oh my goodness, that hurt. Ow.
What just happened?
For some reason, when I sneeze, it hurts a lot.
Should probably go see a doctor then, Dan.
With all those esports dollars. Oh yeah, you know it. Whew. Goodness.
Additional slot opening up on the Metacactus, the squid. Again, I love pastries is the password to the Iron Forker Friday. You guys are watching on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show.
And are you going to post this up over on your YouTube page too?
I think the issue was you guys were saying that my mic was getting issues, and that was because I have a USB mic.
Mm-hmm.
I decided just not to record it because
gotcha.
That was probably what was putting my system over the edge. Just that tiny little sliver over the edge. So I am declining from spectating. And did you just leave?
I think we lost Rob. Rob, you're
Rob
coming
is
back,
not
right? You're not in game.
You are not in game.
You are not in game. This happens sometimes where the servers desync from what's actually going on. You are not in game.
Yeah, me and Dan do not see you in game.
Close out Guns of Icarus, and
goody!
There's been nothing but problems today. It's really weird.
I have to force quit.
Yeah.
Go
unfortunately, we
right
have to force quit. There have been so many issues today with guns. We had the server issues earlier, and now this. Very strange.
Dan disconnecting, Rob disconnecting.
Okay, give me a moment here. Got the standby
You would
screen.
think that all of those esport casting dollars would pay for fixes to all the technical issues, but technical issues still happen with any live production.
We are working on getting Rob back in here.
Yep, coming in.
The slots have filled up, at least for the primary game.
I hast returned.
We're going to be getting started shortly. Anglian Raiders is the map. This might be our last map for the day. Anglian Raiders can take upwards of 40 minutes. That's a very long time for one map. We do have one squid in the game. That one squid can make a great deal of difference, especially if it's playing proactively. It has some very experienced individuals, not just Dementio and Geo, but it has Zemco on it as well, one of the best Russian players in the game. Now, as for the other ships, we have 2 goldfish, 1 on each side, and 3 pyramidions, 2 on the blue side and 1 on the red. Blue team opting to go with the double pyramidion goldfish build, including Melon's big boy car, Flamer Carronade with Banshee. Easy to get trifecta with that build. Very easy. Also, Replaceable's bus, Gat Caro with Banshee as well. And the Curse, which is Kairos' goldfish, that's a blender fish. Once again, Anglian Raiders is going to be the map. It is a Crazy King, so buckle up, kids. This one could be a little long. That being said, though, we should see the game start here very shortly.
OUO is switching up its loadout by the looks of it. It's bringing Banshee Merc
What?
front,
What?
Gatling Banshee on the side. Maybe some kind of experimental build. They want to go with it. They're readied up. Jacob's Abdicative. Now a Hwacha fish with flamers.
Between the OUO and the Metacactus, I'm feeling very iffy about the red team. But maybe they have some plan in the works. Maybe they have some concept that they're going for. Like with the OUO, I can picture that being useful when you're trying to get to the next point and you have enemy ships in front of you. You're going to be flying in a straight line, which gives the Merc easy arcs on the engine column for enemy ships. So maybe that's the direction they're trying to go with it.
We'll have to see. Match starting in 10 seconds here.
Oh, goodness. Pardon me, folks. Oh, starting to lose my voice. That's not good. Anglian Raider is going to be the map. It is large. It is complex. It has a lot of different debris and mountains and ruins and everything. And plenty of cloud cover as well to work with. Now, because it's Crazy King, only 1 point is activated at a time for a certain amount of time, and then it switches off, and the next point in the series is active for capture. The winning team must get 550 points. And remember, points are only active for 3 minutes at a time. All right.
This will take a while.
This will most likely take a while. Crazy King matches always seem to take a while. All right. For the red side, we have the OUO flown by Fox. It's Pyramidion with a Merc Banshee front. We'll see how that goes. And a Gatling Banshee on the side. We also have the Abdicative piloted by Jacob. Hwacha fish with double flamers on the sides. And we have the Metacactus flown by Dementio. It is a Squid, front Hades, side Banshee, back Harpoon. Go ahead, Beach, with the blue side of things.
On the blue team, Melon's big boy car, Pyramidion being flown by none other than Melon McCrabernathy. We've got Carronade, Flamethrower, Banshee, and Flare Gun. We've got the Replaceable's bus, a Pyramidion being flown by Replaceable. Carronade, Gatling, Banshee, and Beacon, Flare Gun. We've also got the Curse, a goldfish being flown by Kadros. We've got Carronade, or Heavy Carronade, excuse me, and Flamethrower Gatling.
Good Lord.
The first
Melons
are already happening.
Look at that. The Melon's big boy car, along with some assistance from Replaceable's bus, doing a serious number on the goldfish there.
Abdicative.
The
already
Abdicative,
going
yeah.
down.
Whew, that was fast. Red team does get an opportunity to cap the point, though. Metacactus finishing the cap off. They're going to get probably about 90 points, maybe a little less from that, depending upon if the blue team decide they want to try and recap it.
Metacactus and OUO supporting one another.
Red team might actually lose this point. I don't think they have the firepower to maintain sitting on it. But they're doing a good job of drawing Melon's big boy car off. Curse going in on the Metacactus, taking shots on it. Metacactus, have they lost any? They have not lost engines yet. They are reversing away from the Curse, but they're not doing enough damage to keep the Curse off them. Curse moving in, getting a solid ram on, taking the balloon out. Whoa! What happened? What happened?
Full armor exposed on that squid. It just doesn't have the, I guess, the strength to deal with a very well-timed carronade.
But I'm curious about something. If that was a charged carronade, Blinkenell is the gunner on the Curse. Yeah, that was a charged carronade shot. Probably buffed as well. They do have a buff on that goldfish. Very dangerous to hull and armor. A charged buff carronade.
Melon's big boy car going at flaming the engine column of the OUO. Meanwhile, the Metacactus coming back into support as the point switches to E. Replaceable is bus and abdicative. As far as
I really like what Melon's big boy car is doing in this situation. They just need to capitalize on it right now and get a blue ship on the point right now, because as it stands, no one is sitting on the point. There we go. Curse turning towards it. Replacable's bus bouncing against the Curse, but now blue team is indeed on the point while Melon's big boy car distracted the Metacactus and the OUO.
Honestly, I think one of the big plays that's going to be happening is being able to distract that squid from getting to the point, making it able to avoid using its speed and drawing it into fire. That's going to be huge in having these other ships try and cap it.
Absolutely. OUO taking a lot of fire. The Abdicative also getting ripped apart. Metacactus not feeling good either. Solid loadouts from the blue team have really done a good number on their part of things. Red team cannot throw back the firepower that the blue team has.
Metacactus has a harpoon on the Curse, although it doesn't look as though they're going to last too much longer with their whole armor exposed and the Gatling coming in from the Curse.
Metacactus not really being too mobile in the situation. For some reason, it really is just sitting around under that point, trying to get a cap on it. Metacactus, I really feel like, needs to be more mobile in this situation. They really need to use their speed. Curse coming in behind the Metacactus, get the bounce, take out the balloon, take out the armor. Engines are down on the Metacactus. They are a hair's breadth. Never mind, they are gone.
Meanwhile, the blue team has capped the point. They are already about 25 points into the cap. They still got 80 seconds till the point switches to A. Abdicative taking fire. They look as though they're about to go down. They go down.
Blue team doing a good job of cleaning up there, but that also means red team gets fresh hulls and fresh ships for the next point. The next point is very close to where the red team is spawning in.
It doesn't look as though it's going to matter too much for the blue team, though. They've got full hulls as well. It's going to be essentially fresh fights, fresh ships, and with a blue team advantage.
One thing we always like to mention during Crazy King matches is that sometimes it is advantageous to leave your enemy disabled but alive. Because for the next engagement, after you've already won this one, or the one that you're working on at the moment, you don't have to get the kill. You just have to make sure you win the engagement and capture the point. If you keep the enemy off the point and still get the cap without killing them, they're already going to be at a massive disadvantage for the next one. Curse, having gone in alone against the red team, gets eaten alive by the OUO, Metacactus, and the Abdicative all at once.
Replaceable bus looks as though it's coming in for the same fate, but Melon's big boy car coming in with a flank here, hoping to get a ram off on the OUO.
Abdicative did a really good job of throwing Melon's big boy car off the ram and into Replaceable's bus, Melon's ally. But now the OUO is getting flamed out here along with the Replaceable's bus, getting Gatling fire on it. OUO is definitely in trouble here, but
Metacactus doing some long-range sniping with that one Hades that they've got, hoping to
The important part was that the Metacactus was sitting on the point. They capped it. They can get a very hefty 160 points out of this cap as long as they hold on to it.
OUO trying to get some long-range support, but oh my god, the curse coming in right behind it, completely unspotted.
OUO, it looks like OUO is just struggling to stay in the air. Oh, wow.
Yep.
That was brutal. Curse doing a great job of keeping the Carronade buff. Engineers on that ship doing a great job with maintaining those buffs and keeping the ship together while they laid in to the OUO. Absolutely.
Metacactus going down. And Abdicative as well.
Blue team getting some very quick kills here. Very quick kills. They have an opportunity to decap the point at the 100-point mark, but for some reason, no blue ship is sitting on it. They're taking a very long time to deal with this, and that means red team is squeaking more points away from this cap.
There we go. There's the decap. 85 seconds left. All three ships looking to capture it. Regain some points for themselves. Can't talk today either. And there we go.
Blue team's going to get about 70 more points. About 70. Meanwhile, red team already sitting on B. All three red ships preparing for when blue team will meet them. Dangerous thing to fly into. Very dangerous situation, especially with OUO sitting back, getting ready with that Mercury. A Mercury alone may not be too much of a threat, but when combined with that Hades on the Metacactus and the Hwacha on the Abdicative, it can be a very dangerous weapon.
Metacactus taking point here. They're the sole one charging all three of these blue ships, hoping to provide some kind of distraction while the Goldfish and Pyramidian on red team.
I'm curious why they're getting that. Why the Metacactus is getting this close to the blue ships.
I think it's to draw them away because look, the curse is already. They're already turning around.
They're turning around to deal with him.
Metacactus pulling itself with that harpoon. Metacactus is just screwing with these guys.
Yep. Curse coming into range, though. That heavy Carronade will do a number on the Metacactus as a whole. If they aren't careful, yep, balloon gone. Armor is gone. Hull is down to 50. They are gone. A little bit of a waste, if you ask me. Red team may not get the cap before the blue team is on top of them.
Well, they're already about 2/3 of the way through the cap, 3/4, 5/6.
So
they've got the cap.
Oh wow!
They got the cap. That
was so close. It did pay off. The gamble did pay off for the red team. They sacrificed their squid to get that cap, and they barely squeaked it out.
Melon's big boy car, flaming and by the looks of it, carronading the Abdicative. Pole armor going down, balloon going down on the Abdicative.
Not a lot the Abdicative can do in this situation. It doesn't have a lot of options. It's lost so many components. It has fire pressure all over it. But lo and behold, Melon's big boy car is getting out of range a little bit of that flamethrower. Exactly, kind of.
First, trying to flank the not only the OUO but also the Metacactus coming back in. Abdicative and OUO's hull armor is down. Abdicative going down. OUO getting its hull armor back up as its balloon runs out and starts to sink. Metacactus is just trying to support here. Curse's hull armor goes down as well.
Red team has done a pretty good job of keeping the blue team engaged, but now that it's just the Metacactus, blue team can really start to focus on making sure they can take this point. Metacactus, though, they're sitting on it now. Blue team needs to deal with the Metacactus before they can cap this point and take anything from it.
Keep in mind, though, also, the red team has taken the lead with this cap, and they still have 90 seconds until the next point. So,
Metacactus getting flamed out. All engines are on fire and taking damage. Metacactus bumping. They have nothing. Blue team going to cap this point. Probably get about 60 points, maybe 55 points out of it.
They have to uncap it first, keep in mind.
That's true, they do.
In
Blue
reality,
team,
it's-
although they've had better loadouts for this game, they don't have the organization that the red team has clearly shown. Red team doing a very good job of doing what must be done, of getting things taken care of, and of working as a very cohesive team.
Abdicative bum rushing this point B, trying to prevent its uncapping. They're pretty successful in doing so, though, too.
Yep, they did a very good job with that. Red team is not going to lose this point before it flips. They're going to get to about the 300 mark in points before the changeover. Curse already sitting on the next point for blue team. Next point will be C. OUO is also moving in as well, along with Metacactus. For the
Abdicative
red
is
side of
taking hell of a beating here by the Melon's big boy car.
I
Anything
believe Abdicative is going to be the distraction in this situation while Metacactus and OUO deal with the heavily damaged Curse. Armor is down. Hull is gone. Red team have a clear shot for this next point as it flips.
Abdicative
They don't have, okay, now they do. I was about to say they don't have anyone on the point, but now they do. They have proved me wrong.
Abdicative is being left alone as Melon's big boy car tries to assist the Replaceables bus in killing the Metacactus here.
Great Mercury shots from the OUO. That's not easy to do that close range. Banshee shots getting blocked off by the debris. Blue team still successfully blocking the point for right now. Red team has mostly capped it. OUO starting to backpedal a bit, panicking more than anything else, but they're still putting fire on Melon's big boy car.
You said it probably best. That getting Mercury shots that accurate, that close of range,
It's tough to do. That's very hard, especially when you have a flamethrower on you and you're getting hit by Gatling fire and things are just going south. Curse and Melon's big boy car pinching the OUO, flamethrowers, Gatlings, all the firepower just being dropped on Fox's OUO. They're going to get crushed more than likely between this debris, but they're actually passing through it.
Yeah, OUO is clipping through this map as well.
Okie dokie. That's interesting. Blue team and red team both blocking each other from trying to cap or uncap. Metacactus still sitting on the point. Do we have slow-mo? No, we don't. No, we don't. Everyone just stop for a moment there. Melon's big boy car getting a singular solid crush on the squid. Blue team is going to uncap it and cap it for themselves. Whew. Replaceables bus getting hammered, absolutely hammered by the Abdicative. Melon's big boy car getting some flamethrower on it as well. Abdicative is going to be dead in the water at this point. Engines are pretty much all on fire. Point did not swing though. Blue team is not actually sitting on the point.
Curse is just above the threshold that's required for.
This is a very important. This is a very important note, folks. You must sit under those balloons to capture the point. That's very important. Blue team had a clear opportunity to steal all those points for themselves, and they missed it simply because they were not actually sitting under the cap zone.
Unfortunate as that may be, the action is now moving on to D.
15 seconds for the point to be activated.
Two red ships
Abdicative
are already on D, trying to set up another ambush.
Replaceables bus is in a lot of pain right now. It has almost no hull left. Curse is still way behind. Way behind where it needs to be. Abdicative was trailing the Replaceables bus, but had since been disinclined to do so from some friendly firepower. Metacactus and OUO starting to take some pot shots on the blue team as it approaches, specifically from that Mercury and the Hades.
Metacactus, I believe, is trying the same tactic as before. They're going out to meet the blue team before they can even get to the point, distract them. Meanwhile, Q Fox P captures point D. Let's see if they can hold on to it for all of its time. Metacactus being fired on, literally with fire by Melon's big boy car. Meanwhile, Replaceable's bus looks to engage the OUL.
The red team has a solid opportunity here to get a lot of points towards getting the win in this situation. Replaceable's bus misses the ram on the OUO. Fox getting a really solid dodge below. Melon's big boy car has it on lockdown, though. And red team has vacated the point in favor of not being on the point.
In favor of... Let's not forget about the Metacactus, though. They've already knocked out the whole armor of Replaceable's boss, sending a few pot shots out there to try to finish him off. Not in time, though. Metacactus getting behind the Melon's big boy car, though, as well.
That's where it wants to be. It was kind of sitting on the blind side of the Pyramidion there for a moment. Metacactus, though, losing its armor. Should be coming back up here shortly. It did come up, then it went right back down. Blue team finally decapping this point, but not before red team gets about 80 points out of it in the first place. Metacactus is going to go down here, but it caused a very solid distraction for the blue team. Blue team has capped the point, and it is going to go towards coming back into this fight, but not enough. They will still be behind. Oh, just about 120 points. Just about 120 points. OUO holding back, taking some very solid pot shots on the Melon's big boy car. We do have disables starting to build up on it. Nothing that some repairs won't be able to manage, though.
Meanwhile, the Abdicative is already sitting on point E, ready for the action to eventually spill into this part of the map.
I really wish the red team had that cohesion they had earlier. Unfortunately, because of the disarray of this last point, I feel like they've just spread themselves out a little too thin.
Metacactus looking to get the harpoon once again on Replaceable's boss. Curse has Metacactus in its sights. Melon's big boy car as well. All three of these ships look to be able to take out the Metacactus, but Metacactus is actually doing a pretty good job against Melon's big boy car.
Not doing too bad. Armor is down. Hull is taking some shots. Replaceable's bus going in on the squid, however, taking it out very quickly, very efficiently. OUO, last red ship in the area, and Curse is eating it alive with its heavy carronade.
It looks as though to start the engagements on E, it's going to be Abdicative versus two Pyramidions.
Great distraction by the red team there coming in. They kept the blue team busy. They kept the blue team off balance, giving the Abdicative time to set up and simply sit there and cap the point. They didn't even need to do anything. Abdicative first target is going to be Replaceable's bus with Melon's big boy car right behind it. Look at this surround here. Melon's big boy car, shots going out already. Watch the shots. Not too terribly accurate on Melon's big boy car. It looks like the blue team is physically trying to push the Abdicative off the point, but it didn't quite work. Abdicative slid to the right of Melon's big boy car, but now surrounded. Abdicative is out of options, out of hull, out of armor, it looks to be, and everything is on fire.
The Curse trying to come onto the point, but it's being harassed by... What is that? The Metacactus, excuse me. Lost my train of thought. Metacactus coming onto the point just as all three of these ships from the blue team are regrouping.
The Metacactus is using the height difference between itself and the other ships to hold on just a little bit longer and get some extra points out of it. They're hydroing something fierce. That was a 3-second long hydro burn, plus the extra 3 seconds that hydro sits on top of the balloon before it burns out. Armor is an issue here. Balloon is out. The entire ship is nothing but hull. Gatling's loading in, Carronade's loading into the Metacactus, but it is still alive. It is still on the point. No, it's not on the point anymore. It is not sitting on the point anymore. Metacactus needs to surge forward. It does not. Red team loses the point moments before they hit the 500 mark.
Metacactus holding on for dear life. It doesn't look good for Metacactus. Oh, the engineering on Metacactus is, though, I gotta give them credit for that. They are still alive after however many shots.
I would love to know how they're still alive.
I would like to know that too.
They have no hull left. They have that tiny, tiny sliver of hull left.
No, that 2 of their engines are down. Engines are.
Oh, look at this. Blue team is ignoring them. Blue team has started to ignore the Metacactus. Kerr's taking a few pot shots, but nothing serious.
Let's see. We've already got the red team ready to go on A. OUO already being spotted. Abdicative has not been spotted yet, though.
The Mercury shots right now not really connecting at the moment. That one they're landing. Replaceables bus has very little hull left as well. It looks like Curse did finish off the Squid. Squid is going to get a fresh hull for this engagement, but they are not in it yet. They have not even spawned in yet. Melon's big boy car going up against the Abdicative, bouncing them around. Flamethrowers all over the place. OUO cannot get a clear shot from the looks of things. Armor is down on the Abdicative. OUO taking those pot shots. Melon's big boy car is starting to feel it just a little bit, but they're holding together very well. Good engineering, good engineer cycles on Melon's big boy car. Armor is down. Hull is taking shots from the Banshee. It's eating that hull alive. OUO, though, running out of options here, as is the Abdicative.
Abdicative is getting teams on by the Curse and by Replaceables Bus. It's amazing, honestly, how these guys are still hanging on with balloons going down, whole armor going down on the Abdicative. Abdicative, these guys are holding on to dear life. They really, really want to prevent the blue team from capping this point.
Ship goes down on each side. For the red team, it was the Pyramidion, the OUO, and for the blue team was Melon's big boy car. Replaceables bus taking a lot of fire right now for the Metacactus, but I'm sorry, not the Metacactus, the Abdicative. Curse in the meanwhile, getting full advantage of the Metacactus.
I have no idea how the Metacactus survived that.
They were pressed against those pipes for a good 2 to 3 seconds, but they simply bounced off. Losing almost all of their hull, but they did only bounce off. They did not die. Abdicative going down, losing its armor. Balloon is down. Replaceables bus is coming in, getting a decent ram enough to where it got the kill. Replaceables bus didn't get the kill. Metacactus going in. Not the wisest decision, but I believe they've kind of given up the goose on this one. OUO setting up on the next point. Blue team is going to get about 60 points out of this cap. Not enough to come back just yet, but they are making progress.
Whew.
With these really long games, you've been in them, Beach. What's the trick to keeping focused and keeping going when you have these really long, drawn out engagements and games?
Honestly, what I found whenever I'm piloting or whether I'm gunning or engineering in all of these Crazy King matches, the key is, especially if you go down, the key is especially to get to the next point anywhere from 50 to 60 seconds in advance, because you know for a fact that that's exactly where the next team's ships are going to be if they've already gone down. And that is
Cactus. Oh my God! Great shots from the OUO, finishing off Replaceables bus.
And that's going to be a disadvantage as red team defends their capping of B.
OUO and Melon's big boy car duking it out there. Watch a shots going wide OUO trying to get those Merc shots on Melon's big boy car. Gatling and Banshee Fire taking out a big chunk of the hull, but they are not down yet. Replaceble's bus spawning back in. Curse focusing on the OUO. Watch the shots going all over the Curse, but it didn't do anything.
Red team has capped the point. They are past 500 points. 50 more points guarantees them the win. All they have to do is hold this point for the remainder of the game, and they will win. Metacactus taking down Melon's big boy car. The Curse is all alone.
That's probably the death knell here for the blue team. They came back valiantly, but I feel like the red team had a little better teamwork, had a little better focus, and better cohesion in this situation.
Abdicative taking out the Curse. I do believe this might be GG, game over. Just about 10 more points until the red team
Congratulations,
wins.
Red team. You guys earned the win. Very hard fought, very tough match. It's going to be 550 to 319 in favor of the red team. And that's going to do it here for this afternoon, ending just a little bit early today. Thank you for joining us here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show, for hosting us, as of course where we are streaming right now. And thank you to Beach Bum here for joining us. Find out more about them. Where is the Riders YouTube page at?
It is youtube.com. You search Ryder Clan, spelled RYDR, Ryder Clan, on YouTube. We've got a few Sunday community skirmishes on there now. It will grow. I will make it grow.
And that's from Oracle and Rotted Beef's streams, yes?
I think it's Oracle, Rotted Beef, and Imagine have contributed, if I'm not mistaken. So subscribe, like, favorite, do all those things.
There you go. And make sure you go over to youtube.com/The Rob and Dan Show, folks, for all of our archives, including this Iron Fork of Friday. Beach Bum, thank you so much for joining us today. And as always, thank you, Rob, for operating as well. Thank you to everyone who participated in Iron Fork today. Appreciate you guys being here. We will see you tomorrow on this channel for the conclusion of the Timmy B tournament right here on twitch.tv/The Rob and Dan Show.